and welcome to the First Fill. This month, we are featuring 5 newly approved drugs or digital therapeutics. In this episode, I'm going to talk about Pemivibart. Pemivibart was granted emergency use authorization by FDA for pre-exposure prophylaxis of COVID-19 in people 12 years of age and older. People who qualify for use must have moderate to severe immune compromise due to a medical condition or receipt of immunosuppressive medications and be unlikely to mount an adequate immune response to COVID-19 vaccination. Before we dive into the drug, a reminder about an emergency use authorization. Under Section 564 of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, FDA may authorize an unapproved product or unapproved use of an unapproved product for emergency use. In doing so, FDA must determine that based on the total available evidence, it is reasonable to believe that a product may be effective in managing a serious or life-threatening disease or condition, and that the known and potential benefits of the product outweigh the known and potential risks. There also must be no adequate, approved, and available alternatives. Studies have found reduced vaccine efficacy when using currently available vaccines for COVID-19 prevention in immunocompromised individuals. A large systematic review and meta-analysis published in 2022 demonstrated that after one vaccine dose, seroconversion was about half as likely in individuals with immunocompromising conditions, such as hematological cancers and immune-mediated inflammatory disorders. Organ transplant recipients were 16 times less likely to seroconvert compared to immunocompetent controls. Evusheld was an initial agent authorized for pre-exposure prophylaxis in immunocompromised individuals. However, the medication is not effective in preventing the currently predominant Omicron subvariant, so is no longer authorized. Recent authorization of Pemivibart fills an unmet need, and that we currently do not have an effective prophylactic agent for these individuals who are at high risk for complications from COVID-19. Pemivibart is a recombinant human IgG1 lambda monoclonal antibody that targets the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein receptor binding domain, inhibiting virus attachment to human ACE2 receptors on host cells, neutralizing the virus. Pemivibart is administered as a 4,500 milligram one-time intravenous infusion over 60 minutes, and patients must be 12 years of age and older, weighing at least 40 kilograms to qualify for use. A repeat dose is recommended every 3 months for continued protection. It's important to note that Pemivibart is not authorized for treatment of COVID-19 or post-exposure prophylaxis. FDA also lists examples of medical conditions or treatments that may qualify patients for receipt of Pemivibart, including malignancy, receipt of solid organ or isolate transplant, taking immunosuppressive therapy, receipt of chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy, primary immunodeficiency, advanced or untreated HIV infection, or active treatment with high-dose corticosteroids, alkylating agents, antimetabolites, and other immunosuppressive or biologic agents that are immunosuppressant or immunomodulatory. As expected with a monoclonal antibody, adverse reactions may include hypersensitivity and infusion-related reactions, including anaphylaxis, which has been observed in 4 of 623 clinical trial participants. These reactions may occur during the infusion and up to 24 hours after the infusion, so monitoring is prudent. The EUA recommends clinical monitoring during infusion and for at least 2 hours after the infusion is complete. Less severe adverse reactions that were observed so far include upper respiratory tract infection, influenza-like illness, fatigue, headache, and nausea. After Pemivibart's authorization, CDC published interim clinical considerations for COVID-19 treatment and pre-exposure prophylaxis in outpatients. These recommendations state that the drug must be given at least 2 weeks after receiving a dose of COVID-19 vaccine in eligible patients as another layer of protection. Studies are still ongoing to fully determine safety and effectiveness of use of the agent in preventing COVID-19, and pre-exposure prophylaxis does not take the place of vaccination. Therefore, everyone aged 6 months and older should continue to stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination as currently recommended. All right, so major takeaways. We have a new agent available for pre-exposure prophylaxis that's preliminarily effective against current circulating variants. The agent should be considered only under the terms of the EUA as I've described, and close monitoring should occur due to the potential risk of hypersensitivity reactions, which can be severe. That's all I have time for today. Please be sure to head to learn.pharmacist.com to earn CE for listening. Take care.